Today on 5 Minute Mondays, I'll explain why you absolutely must record each person to their own track. Welcome to 5 Minute Mondays, where we bring you the best tips and strategies for building your podcast in 5 minutes or less. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, this week we are wrapping up our 4-week mini-series focused on rookie editing mistakes. These are the common mistakes that you hear in new podcasts that detract from the listener experience and stunt your podcast growth. So if you're just now jumping into this mini-series, make sure to go back and listen to all 4 episodes. Now, today I'll explain why it's so important to record each person on their own microphone and to their own audio track. Now, you might not think this is a big deal, but if you have ever tried to edit an interview or conversation with multiple people talking over and past each other, you know what a pain in the butt it is to try and take anything out. Ideally, you want your listeners to not know where you've made your editing cuts. You want the pacing and the flow of the conversation to be so seamless that all of the editing you do becomes virtually invisible. Now, let's say, for instance, that your co-host had a coughing fit right in the middle of a story that you were telling. If you recorded each person onto a separate track, then all you would have to do is delete or mute your co-host for that portion where they're coughing, while your audio is unaffected. And so from the listener's perspective, it's as if that person wasn't coughing at all. If, however, everything is mixed down to a single track, you are left between leaving that coughing fit in or having to do some kind of audio gymnastics to edit around it. And that's just a huge pain in the butt. You don't want to have to deal with that. So here's what you need to do to record each person on their own track. First, if you're recording multiple people in the same room, each person needs their own XLR microphone. And then you'll need either a mixer or a USB interface that will record each person's audio as a separate file. A couple mixers and USB interfaces that we recommend are the Scarlett 2i2, which can handle 2 XLR inputs, the Zoom H4n Pro, which is a field recorder by Zoom that can handle 2 XLR microphone inputs, the Zoom H6, which is very similar to the H4n Pro, but can handle 4 microphone inputs, and then the Rodecaster Pro, which is a bells and whistles mixer that has everything you could ever need that also has 4 microphone inputs. Now, just be aware that many Behringer mixers, which are pretty popular in the podcasting space, only export audio to a mixed down stereo track, even if that mixer happens to have 4 microphone inputs. So make sure that your gear will let you record each person individually. Don't go out and buy a mixer that you're going to regret buying because you can't actually record everybody to a different track. But if you are doing your recording remote, as in your co-host is in a different location, or if you're interviewing somebody that's not in the same room as you, then you can use one of our recommended recording software solutions. And the 3 that we really like that we recommend for doing remote podcast recording is Zoom.us, Squadcast, and Zencastr. Each of them have little quirks. Each of them have things they do really well and are known for. But all 3 of those solutions will record each person individually, which will give you the ultimate flexibility when you're editing your episode. And then once you have each person's audio recorded and saved, all you have to do is simply create a track for each person in your editing software and then drag and drop each person's audio into place. And now you have complete control over how your episode turns out. That's it for today. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube, or subscribe to the 5 Minute Mondays podcast in your favorite app to squeeze even more podcast-related content into your life. Now, I left links in the show notes for our remote interview guide and our podcast accessories guide. If you want to do some more research and dig a little bit deeper into the accessories and the recording softwares that I mentioned in this episode. And if there's something that you want us to talk about on a future episode, please just click the link in the show notes and you can submit your question directly to me. Thanks for listening, and as always, keep podcasting.